Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Alive. Today, guys, we're going to talk about how to stop spending money on things that you don't need. I'm going to give you 15 tips and things to help you save some money, right? Because that's what we want to do, guys. We want to try to save as much money as possible. Big shout out to you guys as you enter in the chat. Please let me know where you're coming from. What city, what state, what country, what county, what hemisphere, what continent are you on? Let me know that in the chat, guys, and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. So we're going to have this conversation. We're going to jump right into it, guys, and it won't be a terribly a long live today, but it'll be a good one because it'll be a productive, efficient one. Because what we want to do, guys, on this channel, I say it all the time, we want to help you save money. That's the goal. That's the biggest goal that I have is to help you save money, make money, earn more money, invest more money, all that good stuff, guys. So let me know where you're coming in from, guys. It's been a rough morning for me because, you know, I was sluggish a little bit this morning. Let's just say it that way. I was a little bit sluggish, taking my time, going a little slower than normal. So bear with me as you come in, guys. We're going to get this thing jumped off. Let me know again, what city are you coming from, guys? Let's see, Dallas, Raymond Scott, good to have you here. As you notice, this one wasn't, I didn't have a what do you call that thing? A advertisement for this live today, but I'm here as normal, right? I think I've done this show or this live probably every Saturday for the last maybe 5, 6 months, maybe long time. So good morning to you, Jen. Jen, good to have you here. Tampa Bay on the west coast of Florida, northwest coast of Florida, I think. Atlanta, Mrs. Moore, good to have you in here. Thank you very much for being here. The UK is in here. Finns, UK Finns, very rural area. Good to have you, Finland Wildlife Clips. Glad you're here. Thank you so much. Memphis 10, right? Antoine is in from Shelby County, perhaps in Memphis. Good to have you here as well. Of course, I know a little bit about that area, Shelby County, and right next to Mississippi, right just down the road, Batesville, Mississippi. Let's see. Houston is in the house. Good to have you, Houston. Scrappy's from Houston. Morning. Atlanta's in the house again. We always get a lot of folks from Atlanta. So glad to have you as well, guys. As you come in, don't forget, hit the like button. Hit the like button. You are going to receive and hear ways to stop spending so much money on things that you don't need. Right. I'm going to give you a few tips that I use. I barely buy anything, to be honest with you. I buy things for the business. Um, I'm a Second Amendment guy, so I'll dabble in that area as well. Some of you know what I'm talking about when I say Second Amendment, right? National African American Gun Association, right? One of the founders of the chapter here where I live. So I do dabble in the Second Amendment, so I might spend some money there, but I don't spend a whole lot of money, guys, right? I really, really don't spend a whole ton of money at all. So the things I'm telling you here are the things that I employ and the things that I use to help me be more frugal, right? And so I'm gonna give you these money saving tips here, guys. Let me see who else we got in the chat here. Phillips from New Jersey in the house. I like to say it that way. No reason. Trenton, New Jersey. Had a family that lived there for quite a while. San Antonio's here. Kimmy Apple, good to have you. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you being here. Xavier, you're right. If you Second Amendment, you can get expensive. Absolutely. But hey, I enjoy my Second Amendment rights, and so I'll spend a little money on that. Right, get me a little steel or a little bit of polymer. Let's see here. So I snuck that in there. Yeah. Well, hey, what can I say? I mean, that's one of my few hobbies that I do have is that right there. So we got Lisa in the house. Thanks for the thumbs up, Lisa. You know me is in Atlanta. I think that's the third or fourth person checking in from Atlanta. Good to have you. We got Renita checking in from Austin, Texas. Good to have you as well. Yep, Xavier, right. Got to spend somewhere. So what are these? Why am I telling you to stop spending so much money or spending money on things that you don't need? Because we are America, and in America, we are a city, a culture of excess, right? We are a culture of excess. right? And so there's so people just buy and buy and buy and buy just to have and buy just to get a feeling and buy just to listen. We talk about building wealth. We talk about getting wealth. We talk about enhancing and building a strong foundation with our wealth. And in order to do that, now I'm not talking to the ultra wealthy. This channel is not for the billionaires. And I'm not even going to talk I don't talk about billionaires on this channel because I'm not worried about the 400, 800 billionaires in America and what they're doing. That ain't that stratosphere where I'm at. I'm not going to focus on living my life the way Elon Musk lived his life or the way that Jeff Bezos does things. I'm not worried about them. They have more money than we can even imagine, right? I'm worried about, and I deal with the average everyday person who wants to be a millionaire or who is a millionaire, right? But the average person, right? That's who I talk about when I talk about stop spending money on things and try to be a little more frugal. And here's some frugal tips. Here's some money saving tips. Here's some things you can do to build some wealth. I'm talking to average people. Now, if you're Jeff Bezos and you're in here watching this, congratulations to you, Jeff Bezos. Congratulations to you, Warren Buffett. Congratulations to you, to all you wonderful billionaires, Dave Stewart and all these guys. Great. Happy for you. Wonderful. You're not my audience, right? I'm talking to regular folks like me because I'm a regular guy, right? Nothing special about me, right? So somebody said, let's see, I think the UK is also a country of excess. Yeah, yeah. That we have a culture of excess that's because of global, the global economy. Now we have these global cultures that transcend, countries, right? So that's what I'm talking about. How do we cut down on the excess? We don't need, listen, everybody in this chat, I say 90% of the people in this chat, I'm guessing 90, 95, 100%, 99%, have things sitting around their house they don't use, that they want to get rid of, that they thought about getting rid of, right? Most people do. Maybe not 99%, but a lot of people do. And so you don't want to buy so much stuff, spend so much money on things that you don't need, right? Or you don't use, or you don't really want, right? We could say that a million different ways, right? So I'm going to give you these 15 money saving tips, and I hope they'll bless you, right? It'll hopefully give you more ammo, more ammunition, since we're talking about Second Amendment, right? These tips will give you more ammo and at the same time give you some encouragement to spend less money, right? And be more cognizant and aware of your spending, right? Because let's keep this real. We like to keep it real on this channel. Let's keep it as real as possible. You're not changing inflation, right? You're not changing inflation. You're not changing capitalism, right? So stop trying to adjust and worry about and think about the world around you and start to adjust and worry about and think about what you can control, which is your spending. All right. Instead of thinking the world's supposed to adjust to you, if I get on Facebook and complain about it enough, no, the world's not adjusting to you. You've got to make some adjustments as the world is changing around you. Part of those adjustments is saying, hey, stop calling Amazon or stop ordering stuff on Amazon and feeding into your addiction of spending and spending and spending, right? Cut it off. Listen, people have spending addictions. Let's be honest. They have spending addictions where they spend and spend, and it's so easy to sit on your couch and punch 2 or 3 buttons. You're done. You can have it delivered, sometimes delivered in the same day on your home or at your front door. Now that is that's something to think about, right? But let's work on the controllables, right? You got to make some changes and adjust your spending. Right? The first place to go if you want more money is not to try and go out and try to get a side hustle. The first place to go is that expense side of your budget and how you spend money. And if you can adjust how you spend money, then you can adjust how much money you'll ultimately have to do other things with. Right? But it starts with you saying, okay, let me stop spending as much as I'm spending. And let's get it right. just because you don't think you spend too much in a certain area doesn't mean you can't cut back, because most of us probably can cut back, right? I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of budgets. On every budget, I can tell there's an area, every budget I've seen, there's an area where you could cut back on. I'm not telling you to live like a pauper. Please don't live like a pauper in the corner, in a box, not buying, just living off the land. I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you to be more aware. Let's jump into it, guys. By the way, hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Please hit the thumbs up button. And also, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, right? Please think about subscribing to the channel. I really would appreciate it. And then share the video, right? You know, somebody else looking to maybe get a little better in the area of spending money, or maybe overspend, or you don't have to approach them like that, but just share the good video with them. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't like it, right? Maybe they, write me a bad comment or something. I don't know, but just share it. That helps out us. I don't ask for anything on this channel, right? One thing I like to see, if you can share the video when you come across good information. I don't care if it's my channel or not my channel. When you come across good information, share that information with somebody else. Pay it forward is what they say, right? Somebody said, hey, Nika, good to have you here. Kimmy said, I have a lot of stuff from years moving around the military. Thank you for your service, Kimmy. Trying to find out what to do with it, especially the used furniture. You can always sell it. Get rid of it. Jen, thank you so much. You're sweet. I appreciate that. Let's see here. New sub, Brad. Good to have you here. Like to go through these chats sometimes, guys. Good morning, Charles, and in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Good to have you. Good morning to you, Chet, as well. If I missed anybody, hey, charge it to my head or something. How's it? Head, not my emotions or something, not my heart or something. All right. So, to be honest, I'm going to say this too before I get started. The biggest thing that most people struggle with, guys, is themselves, right? When we're talking about spending money or overspending money, if you can get to a point, and hopefully these tips will help you out, if you can get to a point where you can control yourself, then you'll have a much better chance at controlling your money. Really, everything we're talking about in this video is about self-discipline, self-control, right? And that's the biggest thing that people have the hardest time controlling is themselves. They're worried about controlling everything else outside of them. But if you get a handle on you, the person in the mirror, your money's going to be a lot better, right? Just stop the unnecessary spending. It can be challenging. I get it. But let me give you these practical tips, all right? First thing is this. Really, really easy thing, but difficult for a lot of people. Identify your needs and wants, guys. Differentiate between the essentials and the non-essentials, right? What is it I need? What is it I really don't need? I just kind of want. And prioritize the spending on the needs. Prioritize the spending on the needs. The worst thing in the world, and I've been a landlord for 24 years, right? Been managing my own rental property. So the worst thing in the world, I'm telling you, this happens, and people think it's cliche-ish, but it happens. You go into a property, and the person is behind on their rent, but when you look around the house, all the furniture is brand new, right? Big old TV. Used to be years ago, not so much now, but because they don't have these type of TVs. But you look on top of the TV, and it's the club picture from the previous Saturday, right? They're out kicking it at the club. The picture's on top of the TV. Nowadays, that's on the mantle because TVs are flattened on the wall. But it's like people don't prioritize what they need, and they have this propensity to prioritize what they want, and then justify it by saying nowadays, right? Well, I got to get my mental health right, and I got to recharge, and but your rent is due. Your rent is late, right? You haven't look. The water is off, or not off, but not the water, but the electricity is off. What are we prioritizing? Now, I'm not saying everybody does that. I don't want to put that out there like that, but I can say this. There's a lot of people that put their wants above their needs. Yeah, they pay the rent and stuff, but then they put a lot of wants up there too. What I'm telling you is to shift that thing. Put your needs at the top. Identify and prioritize the needs, and focus on the needs, and be a little more sparing with the wants. Right? That's all I'm saying. Number two is this. Obviously, I always talk about it on here. I'm gonna always talk about it, is a budget, right? A budget, making sure you understand your income and expenses is number two, and allocate certain amounts all that stuff, understanding what you're spending, right? And one of the main reasons for a budget, when we're talking about how to stop spending money on things you don't need, one of the main reasons for a budget is so you can actually see what you're spending your money on. It's not some abstract thing in your brain or in your head. You actually put it on paper or put it on a spreadsheet in front of you. It becomes clearer and it becomes more real, right? So that's why I want you to create a budget on a regular basis, monthly budget written down, every single dollar, not just some vague thing. Well, that I pay that too and I pay that too. No, specifically, if you ever do a one-on-one with me, I am going to ask you specifically. I do one-on-ones with people to help them with their personal finances. And if you do a one-on-one and we get on a Zoom call, I'm going to ask you about your budget. What do you spend every month on this, and this? And you should be able to tell me that, right? Because you want to be able to know that information. That's huge, right? How do you know what your needs or wants are if you haven't laid it all out on paper? Stop relying on your brain for everything and just put it on paper. And that's all a budget is. It's not, doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be color coded, doesn't have to be some template that costs you $9.99. Doesn't have to be any of that. You make your own template when it comes to your budgets. Don't rely on anybody else's template. Formulate your own template. You got to be a creator, a builder, and a producer if you want to build wealth, and create and produce and build your own budget every single month, right? Now, the third thing is this. Make a shopping list. Let's say, for example, when you go grocery shopping, right? Create a list of things you're going to buy and go buy it, and avoid the impulse buys, because the impulse buys, they may not seem much. I guarantee you guys, I know this firsthand. Impulse buys add up throughout the course of a month, right? Those little 20s and 30s, $20 and $30 a week on little impulse buys adds up to $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year, right? That's $10,000. That's 11 or $12,000 over 10 years. So it feels like it's nothing, but over the course of time, that can add up, right? That's $12,000 a year. That's $36,000 over the course of 30 years. That's $100,000 with it compound interest. Listen, 30, 20, 30, 40 bucks a week on impulse buys over 30 years turns into $200,000, $150,000. It may not seem much right now, but it adds up, right? So like grocery shopping, make a list. Listen, when you go grocery shopping, make a list. Always next, this is how I do it. Okay. How I do it is when I make a list of what I'm getting from the grocery store once a week, not going back and forth to the grocery store 3 and 4 times a week, but once a week, I will write down next to each item what I think the price is going to be. And I got a good idea what the price is going to be, right? So I match my budget to my grocery list. And then I also buy ingredients for 2 or 3 meals each week. Just buy those ingredients. And then, of course, whatever you got to get, your bread, your whatever, your eggs, whatever you normally get once a week, you have those items, right? Salt, pepper, whatever, onions, whatever. But really, just buy the meals, right? If you go, I'm just giving you this is a tip, right? The tip, this is just one money-saving tip. Buy meals. When you buy a meal at the grocery store, okay, that's, let's say $25, $30 for a meal nowadays, because it's more expensive, right? That's 60, 50, $60 right there. You got 2 meals that are going to last you for dinners throughout the week. Maybe you buy $30 or $40 worth of breakfast food or lunch food or whatever. So you just got to be strategic when you go shopping for, say, groceries. Be strategic, right? And then when you go grocery shopping, go fast. Don't slow down. Grocery store manufacturers, marketers, advertisers, whatever you call it, they design the grocery store in a way to catch you slipping. Their whole purpose is to catch you slipping, not knowing what you're going to get, not being sure about what you're going to get, not going into the grocery store and they rely on you meandering up and down the aisle, not thinking, leaning over the cart, taking your time, relaxing. Hey, this is therapeutic. They rely on that. You end up spending more money when you do that, busting your budget, right? Don't bust the budget when you go to the grocery store. And then also, when you go to the grocery store, make sure you eat. Make sure you eat before you go to the grocery store. Eat. Listen, I know it. Whenever I go to the grocery store hungry, I'm picking up and buying stuff that I don't need. right? So I know the deal. But this is how you can save money. Make that list when you go grocery shopping. Stick to the list. My list is 50% of the time on paper still. Call me weird with a pen and I'm marking stuff off. I know some people walk through the aisle and calculate, right? I do it in my head. I always make a game of it, right? When I go up to the front of the line, I've already calculated all the stuff in the thing. I say, let me see if I can go over it. If it's not $120, I think it's going to be $120. Make a game of it, whatever it is, right? Let's see. Let me go back to the chat before we keep going. We got 15 of these. That's just number 3. Rhonda. Yeah, they've caught me slipping a few times as well. Absolutely. All right. Somebody said, is Costco membership worth it for a family of 3? I don't know. I don't know. Absolutely, Renita. You will definitely overspend. Salute to you, Jay Samuels. Good to have you here. Thanks for your support, bro. Let's see. If you go more than once, if you go more than once, I will be standing at the entrance to block your entry. Let's see. I go food shopping without the wife. Yeah, I've been food shopping and I've done about 80% of the food shopping over the last 20 years. I think I have. Let's see. Supermarket on the weekend, prepared to wait in line. Don't bring kids to the store. That's a key also. Excellent point, Kimmy. If you can't help it, right? Happy Saturday to you, Alvira or Alvira. I think it's Alvira. Let me know if I'm right about that. Oh, Brian, good to have you in here, bro. Good to have you. Appreciate you being here. That shopping while hungry will get you. William, you're right. It will get you. Don't do it. Another thing I don't do, let me go to number 4. Another thing I don't do is window shop. Like, I don't go to malls and stuff, right? I haven't been to them. I go to a mall like every 3rd Christmas or something, right? If I want to grab something, but I'm not a mall person. I don't go to the mall. This just causes me to buy. That's number 4. Stop window shopping at the mall, right? This is why they spend so much money on the look, right? They don't have mannequins in the clothing store just for the heck of it, right? They got mannequins there because they want to dress you up. How many times? Listen, I've been shopping for my wife's clothes or something, and I'll look in there and I'll say, man, okay. And I'll look at, and the thing about a mannequin is this: I'll look at the mannequin and I'll be like, that okay. You can. The mannequin's there to force you to make a decision, right? So you have to be very, very careful about that. One way I just don't go. Number 5 is this: wait before purchasing. Just hold off before you purchase something. Implement a waiting period before you go buy non-essential items, right? Before you go buy things that you don't need. Remember, we're talking about how to stop spending money on things you don't need. Wait before you purchase it. 30-day waiting period's always a good grace period. 30 days is great. 10 days is not too bad either, right? This can help you kind of curb your impulse buys that I talked about, right? And give you some time to sort of reconsider a major or purchase in general. Maybe it's not a major purchase. Maybe it's just a pair of shoes that cost $150, right? Wait before you purchase it. A lot of what I'm explaining to you guys is about thinking before you spend money, thinking deeper or deeply before you spend money. And if you wait before you purchase a non-essential item, guess what? Now you have time to what? Think. Time to get over the emotion of an impulse buy. Because a lot of times, I know in America, guys, and maybe UK and other places, a lot of times we are spending money emotionally. We're spending money because we have it. We're spending money because we're depressed. We're spending money because we're happy. We're spending money. All these, we're angry, right? We're not angry. These are emotions. You have to get away from spending money on emotions. And the waiting period, if you wait, number 5, wait before you purchase, it gives you a chance to process and get away from the emotion of spending money, right? And it can be emotional. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real, guys. And I'm going to stop saying keep it real. That's like the 3rd or 4th time I said it. Yeah, that's it. Rhonda said it. That's marketing. That's marketing. Appreciate that. But just give yourself a little bit of holding pattern before you get to the point where you're actually out there and making a purchase. Just try it once or twice. All right. Take the time to reconsider whether the item that you're going to buy, and 30 days, it could be 10 days, whatever you decide to do. Here's another one. Here's another one. Number 6 is this: use cash or a debit card. Right? I know you want the points. I get it. I know you want the points, but don't worry about the points for a minute. How can you stop spending money on things that you don't need? Pay with cash or pay with a debit card. Hey, really throw whoever you're buying something from, throw them way off and ask if they accept checks. Go back old school on them. Hey, you guys accept checks, right? My point is, spend the money that you have instead of using the credit card to spend the money that you don't have. Instead of taking out that small loan, because listen to me, a credit card, whenever you use it, it's a loan. It's a short-term loan. A credit card, whenever you swipe it, it's a loan. You're just getting loan after loan after loan. And guess what happens when you get loan after loan after loan? You become numb to the loans. So you swipe your card at every given moment. Listen, I don't use credit cards. Haven't used credit cards in many, many years. People say, well, how did you get a 7-figure net worth and you don't use credit cards? What's going on? I just don't use them because it's the habit of buying when I have the money. That's part of the secret sauce. Buying when I actually have the money means I have to practice saving for large ticket items. I have to practice building up cash so I can actually go purchase something. Whoa. I know that's like crazy, right? But if you practice that habit, it will get you to the point where you stop spending money on things that you don't need because you don't have the money. And guess what's saving up the money? I talked about a waiting period before you buy it. If you got to save up money to buy it, okay, boom, that's a waiting period in and of itself. So you think about using paying with cash or paying with a debit card. It's going to make you more aware of your spending compared to just swiping a card for credit card, right? If you have to swipe a debit card, then you know you got to have that money in the bank or else that debit card ain't going through, right? That's just like using cash more so than a credit card. Credit card is a small loan. I don't do loans on clothes. I don't do loans on shoes. I don't do loans on gas for my car, right? And then here's another tip, since we're talking about using cash, just set aside a specific amount for any discretionary spending each month. Like on your budget, go ahead and put in $100 for miscellaneous money or $200 for miscellaneous money, and then carry a $20 bill around with you. Remember, I don't care about carrying money. I'm a Second Amendment guy. Some people are worried I might get robbed, and I understand that if you certain people, I get it, but don't try to rob me. If I got $20 on don't try to do that, because I will exercise every Second Amendment right known to man. But that's just me, right? That's just me. All right. So stop using the credit cards. Maybe slow down or stop using credit cards on those small everyday purchases, like your Starbucks run or your afternoon snack runs at Chipotle to get to whatever. Just try to use cash. You'll be surprised at how well that helps you out, guys. Number 7 is this. I'm gonna say this one. It's going to sound a little weird, but avoid sales. Right? I'm gonna say this one. I'm giving you all different types, so this is just a suggestion. What? Right? Sales and discounts, they can be tempting. Here's why I'm saying be careful about them and perhaps avoid them, because they can lead sometimes to you just buying items that you don't really need, but you get enticed by the sale to make the purchase. Right? When's the last time you've been somewhere and you said, whoa, they got that sale. Those things are 50% off. What? Let me go pick one up because I know I want one in the future. Right? Listen, that happens. I totally understand it. It goes on. But I'm saying don't let the sale or the discount rope you into making a purchase you wouldn't have made otherwise, right? Only make purchases that align with the things that you plan to purchase. Don't just go off script and go purchase something just because there's a sale or a discount. So avoid that right there, right? And number eight is sort of similar to the other one, but number 8 is track your spending, right? Track your spending, not just a budget. Don't just make a budget, but make a budget that's focused on the expense side of the budget. And that's what I mean by number 8. Track that spending. Track every single expense. Regularly reviewing. This is why I say when you make a budget, don't just make a budget once a month. Visit that budget 2 or 3 times throughout the month, right? So you can track your spending and identify areas and what places where you can cut back on the spending. Like I said, most budgets have a place where you can cut back on the spending. Right now, there's budget apps out there, and I know folks use budget apps, and that's cool if you use budget apps. That's all right. That's not a big deal. I've never used a budget app. Never used a budget app. But so I don't, there's SoFi and there's YNAB, and you need a budget YNAB. But if people have apps that you like in here, please put those apps in the chat. I really would appreciate it. I'm sure some folks would too. Let's see. Somebody said cash is king. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Somebody said the points are important, bruh. The Wallamala. You can listen, if you love credit cards and you are Visa's best friend and you are MasterCard's ideal customer, go ahead and get your points. That's fine. I'm not mad at you as long as you're paying that off as soon as possible. Me, I don't do short-term loans on things going down in value. That means credit cards either. I cut up my last credit card back in 2011, maybe 2012, 11. Cut it up. I've really never been a big credit card user, but I was using that credit card to do stuff around my rental properties. And I said, this ain't good. Cut it up. Haven't used a credit card since. Haven't needed one. Call me strange, call me weird, but I have made it survive and built wealth without it. I'm one of the rare folks, I guess. Somebody said cash is king. Yes, cash can still be king. Let's see. My mom once bought me a diamond bracelet. It's overwhelming. She spent hundreds on me that Christmas. Thanks for sharing that, Finland. Let's see. Kimmy, I overspent on groceries, so I recently decided to do grocery shopping once a week instead of trying to wait every 2 weeks. Okay. Congratulations for that change. Absolutely. Somebody said, I rarely use my credit card. It's been reported as dormant a few times due to not using it. Yeah, I got rid of mine personally. Let me see here. Somebody said, God bless the Second Amendment. The mobile phone now supports digital payments. That is what I'm using. Okay, cool. Hello, JT Coin Rings. Good to have you here. Good to have you in here. Thanks for your support. Learning so much about smart money. No foot massages. No foot massages. And don't run up on me with it for trying to get a 20 out of me. That's funny. You making me laugh. Let's see. Black Friday. Yeah, I always Black Friday. I don't understand Black Friday, right? Like Thursday, Thanksgiving, everybody's, thanking God and being grateful and just happy for family and all the things that matter. And then Friday morning, 7 hours later, everybody's knocking each other down to get a $10 TV or something. Strange to me, right? Let's see here. Protect your money at all costs. They box each other over the parking lot. The Bahamas is in the house. Wow, good to have you here. Way from the Bahamas. Fantastic. Let's see here. Okay, let's keep going. So number nine, when you're thinking about spending money, think about free or cheap alternatives to whatever you're buying. Let me say that a different way. Okay, you want to get a new TV. Is there a free or a cheaper alternative than going over to wherever you go and purchasing the TV for $500 or $600, $700, whatever it is, right? Is there a free or less expensive version of what you're trying to purchase? Maybe is there free or less? Hey, you want to go to the ball game, the baseball game, right? The Major League Baseball game. Is there a free or alternative choice for the baseball game? Right? I mean, I'm breaking it down into these regular activities, right? These regular everyday activities we want to partake in, or these regular everyday things we want to purchase, right? Is there a low cost, free, or alternative thing, product, or service or activity that you could enjoy in lieu of spending so much money on the thing that you may not need, right? So for another example, maybe Instead of going to the restaurant that's going to cost 40 bucks per person, 80 bucks, 70, 80 bucks, could you alternatively cook in? Maybe have a potluck with the 2 or 3 or 4 friends you're going to go out and eat with. Maybe have a potluck. Come on over, bring a dish. I'll make a dish. You bring a dish. We got 5 dishes and a little bit of dessert. Let's enjoy each other's company right here instead of going to the fancy restaurant where we're each going to spend 40 bucks. I'm just giving you an example of how to stop spending money on things you don't need. That was number 9. Find free or inexpensive alternatives, right? So number 10, here's one of my absolute favorites, guys. This is one of my I use it all the time. I embarrass people who I'm with when I use this one, but I use it a lot and it works a whole lot. Okay? So when I get to a register, when I'm buying something, I don't care where I'm at. When I'm buying anything, when I get up there and get ready to pay, I always ask for a discount. I always ask for a discount. I don't care if it's, I say always. Okay, if I'm getting gas, that's one thing. But if I'm grocery shopping, if I'm doing, is there a discount? Is there a way to get a discount? How can I get a discount? Is there something I can do to get a discount? Can I bring up a coupon on my phone? What can I do? Is there you'd be surprised at how many clerks making $9 an hour that are ringing you up. How many of them will look around and break their neck just to find you a discount? If you come to the register with a little bit of personality, with a little bit of kindness, with a little bit of fun to make their day, right? This person's been behind the counter all day ringing out people and being, cursed at and all the, and you come up there with a good attitude, you're smiling, you're happy, you're making them laugh, you're cracking a joke or two. Guess what? Hey, is there a way to is you guys have any discounts or anything? How about that manager special, right? That's my fun one to say, right? Hey, go ahead and give me the manager special. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. We joke, we laugh. Hey, well, we do have this coupon you can use. Listen, this is my favorite because it works like 75% of the time. Ask for a discount at the register. You'd be surprised at what they will give you. You'd be shocked. You would really be shocked. If you're looking to, I say stop spending money on things you don't need, but this is one that you can use to save a little money on the things that you get, right? Save a little money, have a little bit of laughter and jokes and fun, and bring a little light to the clerk, whoever's ringing you out. You'd be shocked. They will give you some. They'll go find a discount. They'll go ask another person. They'll check the manager. Hey, do we offer discounts on so and so? Boom, 10% off, 5% off, 30% off. You just try it. Don't be embarrassed to try it, right? I will haggle with you all day if I have to, right? I'm just giving you some tips, guys. Don't beat me up. Just giving you some things to try and give a shot. Let's see who's going to make the dressing. 74 likes. Guys, get the likes up. Thanks, Mrs. Moore. Thanks for reminding me. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, guys. Pause break. Check out Mint Mobile in the description box below here on YouTube. That's my channel partner, just purchased by T-Mobile. They use the largest 5G network, and they also have really, really, really inexpensive plans. And that's why I use them, right? Check out Mint Mobile. Also, get your 24 Laws of Money free ebook in the description box below as well. And I got some other things down there, right? You can go to our website at smartmoneybro.com. You can check out our one-on-one personal financial mentoring and coaching that we do, right? So we got a lot of stuff in the description box. Check that out, but you got to smash the like button for me, all right? And again, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to this channel. I really, really would appreciate it. Thanks, Mrs. Moore, for helping me remember that. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to number 10. Oh, that was 10. Let's go to 11. Number 11 is real simple. It's just practice being mindful, right? Being mindful of your spending habits and the reasons behind your spending habits. As I said, spending can be an addiction for some people, and it's a real addiction. Nothing to laugh at, nothing to joke about. It can be a real addiction. And when I say practice mindfulness in terms of your spending, if you feel like you have a spending problem, feel free to get some therapy, right? Get some help with your spending problem because it's a real issue that people have. So for some people, it's spending for comfort, depression. There's all types of reasons people spend money that they don't have or spend money on things they don't really need. I mean, think about, I used to watch the show Hoarders, right? And hoarders, that's a real problem when people just buy a bunch of stuff and they keep it all in one room or two rooms, or their house is overwhelmed with it. That is a problem that needs to be recognized and needs to be respected. And if you need help about that, there's different, I would say, Google it, right? I don't know if it's called Hoarders Anonymous, whatever that it is, but you need to be reaching out for help, right? If you have this issue, right? And there could be a lot of reasons. I know I had a. I'll give you this one story real quick. I had a tenant in one of my properties one time. Um, years and years ago, I had a tenant in one of my properties, and while the tenant was in the property, they weren't. They did an okay job keeping the house together, right? A single family house, but during the time they were in the property, the lady's son was murdered. He was killed, right? And he was a young man, maybe 17, 18 years, 17 years old or something like that, in high school. And he had, so whatever, for that reason, I think 6 months later, when she moved out, the house was basically overran with stuff. It was like a hoarder. It was like all of a sudden she became a hoarder, and it was ramsacked. The house, it was the worst. I've been doing it 24 years. That was the worst I've ever seen any one of my properties after somebody moved out. And that was and I believe that it was because something flipped and switched when she had that tragic moment in her life when her son passed away. Then she became, so I say all that, I give you that story to say that it's real, that people have this hoarding mentality, this mental, I don't know what you call it, a mental health issue, where they just spend and to buy stuff. They don't need the stuff. They just buy it because they can buy it, right? So if that's you, try to practice mindfulness and being mindful of what you're spending money on. And then ask yourself, why are you spending money on the things that you don't need, right? And always, when you make a purchase, ask yourself before you make the purchase. Be mindful and say, hey, does the purchase of this align with my long-term financial goals? Or does it align with my values? Does it align with my pocketbook, right? With my money? Ask yourself these questions before you make these purchases, being mindful of your spending, and it will go a long way in helping you avoid overspending on things you don't need. Right? Number 12. I got 15 of them. Set saving and spending goals. Okay. Establish certain goals to work towards, whether it's building an emergency fund, saving for a vacation, paying off debt. Because here's what happens when you have clear goals, it helps you stay in pocket with spending your money if you allow it to. Right? Goals are like guardrails, right? Because you can always say this is another question you can always ask yourself is, does it fit within my goals? And if it doesn't fit within my goals, don't buy it. If it fits within my goals, let's purchase it. If it fits within my budget, let's purchase it. But you got to have clear objectives and clear goals, and they can motivate you to cut back on any unnecessary spending, right? So I'm on here talking about, listen, most times when you go to YouTube, guys, I'm not the face of frugal living tips, right? I'm not the face of frugal living tips. You type in Google right now, not Google, type in YouTube right now, frugal living tips. You ain't going to find many people that look like me giving you frugal money tips. You probably won't even find a lot of men giving you frugal living tips. But guess what? I'm a man who lives frugally, and I believe in saving money, and you get me today. You get me today, right? Somebody that doesn't look like your regular person. Normally, somebody that looks like me won't be giving you these tips about living frugal, but it's all about saving money on this channel. So don't worry about who I am. Just go ahead and take heed to the advice. Again, clear objectives, clear goals can help you not spend money on things you don't need. Let me run through the chat before I hit the last few of them. Let's see. Absolutely. Hey, true. Okay, Romania's in the house. Good to have you, Marius. I think I'm saying that right. Marius or Marius, let me know. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, I think he's the person that pushes, or he's the advertiser that markets, does these funny commercials of Mint Mobile. Let's see here. Tates County, Atlanta's in the house again. Well, a lot of Atlanta folks checking me out. Good to have you guys here in the house. Um, what if you're introverted and don't want to talk to the clerk asking for? Hey, that's a great question. The Walla Mala asked, "What if you're an introvert and you don't like talking to the clerks?" Okay, you miss out on that. You can't do what I just told you to do. Then you can't do it, right? There's other ways you can be mindful about spending money and get your discounts, right? But you know, I used to be an introvert, but I had a good buddy. He brought me. He kind of. I used to hang around him, and he was very extroverted, and I became more extroverted. But if you can't do it, you can't do it. Just a tip. Right? Everybody can't do all of them. Somebody said, click the like button. Yes, hit that like button, guys. Smash the like button. Lyle in the house. Also, veteran should ask for a better. Oh my gosh, Lyle, that's a great one, man. Thanks for bringing that up. Lyle said, and a Pine Hill production said, all better if you're a veteran when you go to the front desk. Like I said, ask for discounts at the front. If you're a veteran, yes, 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 always ask for a discount because many establishments in America they offer discounts to people who have served in the military. Absolutely, great point. I appreciate that, Lyle. And along that same lines, if you're over 55, and you're watching this, go ahead and go. I know you may not want to, but go ahead and ask for that senior discount too. I mean, why not? Right? You guys offer a senior discount? Hey, do you offer a discount for military? All of that. You get every discount you need. You squeeze everything you can get out of that doggone transaction. Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that one up. I appreciate that one. Let's see. Hoarders probably have an issue of letting go. They do. I'm not sure. Right? The struggle is real when it comes to people that have a habit, or not a habit, but have a addiction to spending. Right? Yeah, guys, we got almost 200 people in the chat. That means we got to have almost 200 people smashing the like button. If you're here and you haven't hit the like button, stop what you're doing and smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Number 13 is this. Number 13 is sort of like the other one I mentioned, but you got to limit your temptations if you want to stop spending money on things that you don't need. Limit your temptations, right? In other words, if you get a marketing email, unsubscribe from it. Right? Unsubscribe from those marketing. Avoid browsing online shopping sites. That's a good one. I talked earlier about being in the mall. Don't go to the mall. But what about online browsing shopping sites, right? Online browsing is huge because you're browsing. All you got to do is click, click. It's boom. It's at your front door in 6 hours, right? Also, limit your temptations by unsubscribing from any streaming services, any Pandora or Spotify or whatever or a magazine, whatever it could be that you don't use, that you don't need. Unsubscribe. This is going to limit your temptations of easily clicking 3 buttons and getting in, or 2 buttons. Sometimes it's just 1 button. Boom, limit those online temptations, right? Number 14, one of my favorites, is you got to get some help. Seek some help, guys. Listen, share your goals with your friends or your family members that you're closest to who you know will support you. Don't be sharing information with people that you know won't support you. But people that will support your friends or family. Share your goals with them and be receptive to people who question if you share your goal with somebody and you trust them with your goal, then you got to also trust them when they come back and say, hey, I thought you were trying to save for that that new car, that car you're going to buy. I thought you were saving for. Don't get mad at them because they call you out, because you already trusted them with the information, with the goal. Trust them to give you positive, critical feedback to help keep your spending in line. Having somebody hold you accountable can make it a lot easier for you and easier to stick to your budget, stick to your goals, stick to your aims and your vision. But an accountability buddy, right? A friend, or it ain't got to be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be me. It could be anybody, right? Who's going to hold you accountable for your spending. But then again, you have to be receptive and cannot be offended when they come back and ask you a question about what you spent money on. You have to receive that. Receive the criticism, the feedback. Don't be getting mad because they called you on the carpet. That people, a lot of times people exist in your life to keep you in check. That's okay, right? But in my opinion, people need to be talking about money more. Stop hiding. Stop hiding what you have, what you don't have, what you want. Talk about it more. But just have the skin to realize that everybody's not going to be on your same page, right? Everybody's not going to care that you know, that you're successful in reaching that goal that you have, right? But the key is find somebody that you can share your budget with, or ask them to check in on you in terms of your spending, right? If you have kids around, talk to your kids about your income and your spending. And because sometimes I found that when you have kids and you share it with kids, now it's kind of like, now you got to live up to what you shared. And so you're kind of, it's a mechanism for kind of becoming your own accountability partner because you shared it with somebody. Now you want to walk it out, right? We share it with your kids. It also improves their financial literacy as well. So keep that in mind too, right? Let's see. Okay. Now, before I get to the last one, which is similar, let me go ahead and get to it. Then I'm gonna get to the chat. Then I'm gonna get to the chat. Leave your this is the same thing. That's very similar to what I said before, but I want this to be more specific. The next time you go shopping, leave all credit cards at home. That's a really, really specific thing to do. Just leave credit cards at home. I know I mentioned earlier use cash, but I mean literally, this one, number 15, is literally leave the credit cards at home. Don't take them with you, period. Just leave them there. Go with only the amount of money in your pocket that you plan to spend. If that's zero, you don't plan to spend money, don't take money with you. Don't take a card with you. Some of you are saying, well, what if I have an emergency? Okay, listen, you may have an emergency if you have a credit card, you don't have a credit card. Okay. But the point is that try it. Just give it a shot. If you know that okay, let's say you're going to the mall, or you're going with a friend, or you're going out to eat, and you may see some things. She's going to go shopping, and you don't really want to spend money because you're on a budget. Leave your spending mechanism at home. Excuse me. Just a tip. I'm just giving you 15 frugal living or 15 money saving tips. I also want to say this. It's okay to treat yourself. I'm not saying live like a pauper, not spending any money, living in a corner, never going anywhere. I'm saying financial discipline, prioritizing needs over wants, being in control of you, right? That's all I'm saying. That's critical. This is how you lower the expense side of your budget on a monthly basis. The tips I gave you. This is how you lower that. You spend less money. You want to raise, you want to make more money, spend less. Spend less money. Challenge yourself. Right? Challenge yourself to say, I'm going to spend less. I'm going to spend less. Juicy Work Show. Thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Drop a comment if you leave a super chat. I'm going to read your comment. Thank you so much, Juicy Work Show. I appreciate you more than you know. So that's my 15 things. Got a question? Drop it in the comments. That's my 15 things. How to stop spending money on things that you don't need. Right? 15 money saving tips to help you out. Because that's what it's all about on this channel. Helping you spend less money, make more money, invest more money, keep more money, spend less. Right? Somebody said, don't even tell your family your goals. Yeah, there's a lot of people in your family that they're looking for you to fail too. When you start winning with money, you will lose friends. So you can't talk to everybody about your money, but you can certainly talk to the people that you trust, right? Let's see. Why can't we talk about making 100K, 200K, and 300K without quoting only 8% make it? Change the stats. Okay. Yep. You're right. People do get envious. They get jealous, right? But guys, we got to be to the point where we have some discipline with our money. That's the whole point. We got to have discipline with our money, right? Tell our money what to do instead of being bullied and pushed around by the money. That's probably the most. It's probably one of the top things that I can point to over the last 20 years to help me build my wealth, the wealth that I have. And I'm not Jeff Bezos, right? Again, I'm not Warren Buffett, but I have been able to grow my personal finance and the asset side of my equation, my net worth statement, have been able to grow it because I've exercised good, solid discipline for a long period of time with money. That's really what it's about. Good, solid, consistent discipline. Right? We try to make this thing out, this growing money, becoming wealthy. We try to make it out to be bigger or more or harder or more complicated than it really is. It's not very complicated. It really is not. And I'm not one of those people that just say, "Oh, if you just cut out a latte once a week, you can be a millionaire." I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's the discipline, the principle of being disciplined with your money. That sounds easy, sounds like a cliche. It's very difficult for a lot of people to keep themselves in check, especially when they're being bombarded every single day by advertisers, marketers, billboards, commercials, ads. All on every social media. They're on their phone all day. And if you're on your phone all day, you see ads all day, and you see ads that you ain't even said out loud, right? You just was thinking about something, and the ad for it pops up in your feed. Very strange, right? Or you said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Chipotle." Then you check out your phone, 10 minutes later, and Chipotle ad comes through. Listen, they're hawking you down like an animal in the wild. They're hawking you down as a consumer. They're hawking you and chasing you down as a spender. They need you to be a spender. The easiest way to jump out of the rat race is to become frugal and not be the spender that they want you to be, right? So at the same time, you kind of pulled back from the rat race, and at the same time, you're building wealth on your own in the background. You build wealth in the background. You don't build wealth out front so everybody can see it. You build it in the back, right? So tell Jason, good to have you in here. Good to see you, Jason. Jason said, tell our money what to do takes discipline, big time discipline. Jason said, just like losing weight, you can do it, but few use discipline to get the results. Absolutely. It's just like weight. We all know what to do to lose weight, right? Move more, eat less, eat right, plenty of sleep, drink water, lots of water. And when I say eat right, that's a lot of stuff in that eat right? Eat the right stuff, eat less of this and less of that. We all know pasta, bread, cake, donuts, we all know. But do we all do? That's the kicker. We all know how to, I say we all, most of us know how to build. We know the components of building wealth, the outside components, but actually putting the things into practice is the hard part, as Jason said. Good point, Jason. Putting things into practice, right? It's the discipline to get the results. Sometimes it only takes 30 seconds. You're right, Aura. Absolutely. Thanks again, Juicy Works. Yes, put a chat. Let's see. I'll put it up here. Thank you so much for the super chat, Juicy Works Shaw. I appreciate it. Curious what that name means. Yes, sir. Your videos help because I have nobody. It's just me, no family, no, and savings is big part. Yes. If you just got you, then you've got to force yourself to sit down and do a budget. You got to force yourself to implement some of the things that I talked about in this video. You have to force yourself to do the right things. And you can do it. That's the beauty. Yeah, I said it's good to have an accountability partner, but you don't necessarily need an accountability partner. Some people do, some don't. Right? But the most important part is that you hold yourself accountable and then respect yourself enough to listen to yourself when yourself tells you, no, don't purchase, no, back up, no, wait 30 days, right? That's really important. Thanks for that super chat, Juicy Workshop. I appreciate it. Knowing and applying is two different things. Absolutely. Right? Knowing is cool. Applying is wisdom. right? Somebody said, let's go Royals, Kansas City Royals. Yes. One of the things that changed my life was investing. Not anything complex either. ETFs and companies I trust will grow that are known. Was able to grow my investments. Listen, everything you do with money is about discipline. Yes. Okay. Look at your budget in two halves, just like you look at your balance sheet or your net worth statement. Look at your budget in two halves. One half is income. One half is expenses, right? The expense side of that budget is all about discipline. Now go over to a net worth statement that lists your assets on one side, your liabilities on the other side. Everything on the liability side is about discipline, right? So what it's your life is made up on your ability to control yourself. The more you can control yourself, the better you give yourself a chance of building wealth. The better you give yourself a chance at being successful at anything. The more you control yourself. And that's what all this stop spending money on things you don't need is all about. Telling you no. Telling yourself no. Hard to do, right? Very difficult. Listen, guys, I appreciate you being here. I said it wasn't going to be a long live. We've been on about an hour now. I want to let you enjoy your Saturday. I want to let you enjoy time with family, get out and walk, go exercise, go make that. I got to go make some sea moss gel that I'm going to make. Got to go get some spring water first and just do something good today to work towards your goals. Maybe rewind this video, write these 15 things down, and maybe I'll put them in. I'll go ahead and put them in the timestamps in the video. But you want to get to a point where this becomes a lifestyle, not a stretch, not a something that's very difficult, not something that you begrudge. Is that right? Was begrudge a word? I'm not sure. Not something that you hate, right? Or that you feel like you have to do, right? But this becomes a lifestyle as you begin to build wealth, a lifestyle of avoiding spending money on things that you don't need. Again, if you have some wants that you want to spend money on for it, that's cool. Just budget it in, put it on your budget. I know I'm going to go out to lunch once a week at my job. Okay, that's 20 bucks. Okay, now that's 80 bucks in a month. Let me put a line item in my budget that says lunch for work, $100, 80 bucks. I'm not mad at you for doing that. But because that you're still telling your money what to do. You're still in control. And you have the discipline to stay with that. But I'm just giving you these things to help you, these 15 tips or 15 money saving tips that's going to help you be in control and start exercising that discipline, right? Somebody said, I have a list of 12 items. Eric, I'm going to the cashier with 13. Our son loves macaroni and cheese. There's 2 for $4. Crap, I had to grab 2 packs. Go on now. I understand you, Alvira. You are working it. Yes. Do me a favor. The best thing you can do on this channel, guys, is share the video. Share this quick video. Share this 1 hour long live with somebody who you think could use this information. Now, I appreciate you guys. I say it all the time. This channel wouldn't be what it was, wouldn't be what it is or growing if it wasn't for you guys. So you guys in the chat, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Finland Wildlife Clips, Loomis Rollins, the Wallamala, love that name. Jason, Mrs. Moore, Big Money Growth, Memories in Action, Kimmy, John, A. Edwards, Robert, all of you guys, Marius, I appreciate you guys being here. I'll probably be back on here doing another live tomorrow at 1 p.m. I got something I want to share with you guys. Listen, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, do me a favor. Take care of yourself, but also, really important, take care of other people too. Until the next video, peace.